The Torah portion, Mikeitz. We are in the third reading. Let's get right into it. The story of Yosef as he has now given Pharaoh the interpretation that he seems to like, as he will say now. Okay. And Pharaoh said, El Yosef to Yosef, Achrei, Haidi Elokim, after God made known, Aischa, to you, as calls all of this, everything that you just described in yesterday's teachings, right, on how he interpreted the Pharaoh's dream, God made that known to you. Wow, cool. Ain't novim chacham kamecha. So as a result, obviously, there's no one who is as discerning and wise as you. Rashi ain't novim chacham kamecha. Levakish ish novim bechacham she'amarta lo nimsa kamecha. Right. What did he say? He said, yeah, Yosef said to him, you need to have someone who's discerning and wise. Well, as you spoke, we can't find someone like you. Right. So he says, Ata tiel beisi. Well, as a result of that, you will be over my household. Valpicha yishak kol ami. And according to your orders, well, my people, they will yishak. Interesting. Rashi is going to say provided for. Okay, only the throne will be greater than you. Right, Gadol. Rashi in 40. Rashi. Yishak. So Onkelos says itazen, isparnes, meaning you'll be sustained. In other words, the people will be saying, Kol ami, all of the needs of my people, will be carried out through you. Right. Kawai oben domestic basi. So the word yishak is similar to the word the needs of my the steward of my house, which was referring to Eliezer when Avram was referred to him as the steward, the master of the house, meaning everything went through him. Kamenashki bar, supply yourself for food. And an old French, garnison. Raki say only the throne. She melech. They'll call me the king. It's almost like only a title, right? I mean, title with all the power. Meaning like there's nothing left for him to do because he's giving everything over to Yosef. Kisei Loshen Shema Amalucha. Kisei expresses the status of kingship. Kama Yigdal al Kisei, Kisei Adeni Amelech, giving different examples of the word. Because Kisei just means a seat, right? Kisei means a seat, but an expression of the royal seat, the royal status. Okay, verse number 41. Yomer Parai el Yosef, and Paro said to Yosef, it's interesting, previously is what he also said to him, right? But a new thought, verse 41. So what does he say? Rei nasati Yischa al kol eretz Mitzrayim, behold, hereby I confer all of the land of Egypt upon you. In other words, you've got the power. 41 in Rashi, Nasati Yischa, I have placed you, meaning literally it's I've given you. Should be understood as Onkelos explains him. I have appointed you.
What's the difference between Onkelos and Rashi?
Onkelos is the Aramaic translation of the text that was written.
Wasn't a person?
Yeah, Onkelos is a person.
Okay.
Yeah. But he predates
Rashi.
Rashi 1,000 years or something.
Okay. He was commentator.
He's a translation into Aramaic.
Okay.
It's translation into Aramaic. That's what he is.
Thank you.
So he translates it. So often he brings him, right, for a word or for a phrase like Nasati oischa, I have placed you, I've given you, right? And Nasati oischa, I've given you. That's what the literal words means. So Onkelos translates it that I've appointed you, right? Remember, I'm translating, I'm trying to translate as literal as possible, just so you can get the root words and learn a bit. And then, but in the context, it may not be the best way to translate. And well, when we do Rashi, so then here he's bringing Onkelos, he's giving us the appropriate context of those words. Afal Pikein, nonetheless, Lashon Esina, who it's still a sense of giving, appointing you, giving. Meaning, I've appointed you as supreme, and I've given you something supreme, the shiflis, whether of greatness or lowliness. It's an expression that applies, that the word nesina applies to. That I have put you in disgrace and lowly. In other words, giving doesn't mean you're giving something top notch. It could be something you're giving lowly, right, to the person, but you're giving. So here he's giving in the sense of being appointed as supreme. That's what he's giving.
Why despised? I made you despised. Lowly.
No, it's giving. It's giving whether something lofty or something lowly.
I understand.
That's the point. The point is in the giving. Right. So here he gave something supreme to him, that he's the second in command, right? Vyasapara is tabate, and he took off Pharaoh is tabate, his ring, his signet ring. Mi'al yade, from upon his hand. He took it off, right? One sec. They I saw, and he placed and he gave it al yad Yosef, on the hand of Yosef, the yalbe Yosef, and he dressed him big day sheish with a clothing of sheish linen, v'yasem revid, and he placed a chain hazahav, which is golden, zahav is gold, al savarai, on his neck, around his neck, in other words, right? Rashi. Yosef Paris Tabate. We are in verse 42. And here Pharaoh removed his signet ring, the signet Tabasamelech, the giving of the king's ring. He ois is a sign, lemi, shenesa loy, to whom the king gives. Liyais, sheni loy, to be second to the king, the in greatness. Right? Having a signet ring means you're second in command. Big day sheish, garments of fine linen. Devar chashivatsu, there's an important item b'Mitzrayim, in Egypt. Revid, a chain. Anak is a necklace. Al shehuratzu v'tabas, because it's made up of many rings, side by side. Kori revid, that's why it's called a revid. Right. Revid means something that's continuously one after the other. And that means the rings that are continuously connected one after the other. V'chein mervadim revadati arshi Martzofes, and I arranged my bed in a continuous pattern. Lashon Mishnah, language from the Mishnah, Meisif Revedim 11, surrounded by rows of stone. Al Haroived Sheba Zora, rows of stones that are in the courtyard. V'hu Ritzba, the floor. They're made of rows of stone. They're just bringing out that the word means a continuous kind of pattern, right? Or of things, whether it's stones, whether it's rings. That's the point he's making here. Okay, continuing in 43. The Yarkev say, and he made him ride the Markevis on a chariot, a Mishnah, the second royal chariots. Mishnah means second. Asher loy, that is to him, meaning to the king, second royal chariot. V'ikra lefanab, and they called before him Avrech. Avrech means like a young man, right? Remember, you know how old he is here.
Yeah, it's like what, 32 or something?
No, he's less.
Sorry?
Um,
22, and how old was he when he went in? 17?
no, he's 1 second. Might be 20 or 21, something like that.
Why did he be so young?
Why?
Thought he was in,
No,
thought he was in jail for 22 years.
No. 1 second. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, maybe he's 30 now. Maybe he is 30. You know what? It's
He was
I think
17 when he got
right. I think he's 30. He's 30. It was 12 years.
he's only in jail 12 years.
Well, the whole story.
Wife, the Pharaoh.
Okay, you know what? I'm not. Yeah, that instead of let's figuring it out because we got a lot to learn here. Let's continue, and maybe it might come clear. The Yirkava say, okay, so he made him right. And also I say, I'll call Eretz Mitzrayim, and he placed him upon the entire land of Egypt. Vikra Lefanav Avrech. It's interesting. Proclaimed before him king's counsel. Nothing. I don't know how you get that from the word Avrech. We'll see. Rashi. Okay. Rashi in 43. Kevis Amishna, the second chariot. Hashnia Lemer Kofte, a second rank of his own chariot. Hamalechas Eitzel Shaloi, which that chariot go along next to him, next to Pharaoh. Avrech. So Avrech should be on the Sukkot Targum, according to Unkelis's translation. Dain Abba Lamalka. This one who is a patron of the king. Rach B'Lashon Rami. So he breaks down the word. Rach in Aramaic means king. Shutfin, as we see in the Gemara, neither a king nor son of a king. He's just bringing that the word means king. Right. So again, Obadiah Agada, in the words of the Agada, it says, Darash Reb Yehuda expounded the word as follows. Avrech ze Yosef. Avrech refers to Yosef, Shu Av b'chochma, that he's a father in terms of wisdom, right? Because the term Avrech is Av, father, Reich, meaning over here, so Reich b'shanim, he's tender in years. So he's got wisdom, but tender in years, right? And that's the expounded meaning. Amar Rabbi Yossi ben der Maskis. So Rabbi Yossi said, Ad Masiatem Ma'abis Aleinu is Ksuvim. How long are you going to corrupt the scripture for us? Meaning, he's accusing Rabbi Yehuda, who gave us the previous explanation that he's interpreting Avrech not in the proper context.
Who's complaining?
He's
Jim Brown?
he is complaining to the explanation, the previous explanation that we gave from Yehuda.
That's not
This
like
is he's
Yosef
taking from the Talmud, right?
Yosef ben
Yeah,
Masik. Masik?
yeah.
Okay, he's the one who's fetching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So because he says Pharaoh's not been speaking here by Yosef's wisdom nor his youth, he's been speaking by Yosef's high rank. So he interprets Avrech. Ein Avrech eloshem birkayim. It is a term of knees. Shakol nichnosim v'yotzim tach ziyadei. For all will enter and exit by his authority. Kinyan shenemar, as it says, v'nosin oisei, and we appointed him over the land of Egypt. Aha. And so what's the idea of knees over here? Because knees you bend, right? So in other words, they will bend themselves to his authority. That's what he explains the meaning over here.
Cuba.
Okay. No, that's not tshuva.
I know.
It's a bittul.
Okay.
Okay, 44. Interesting. I want to see if there's a sikh on this because, like, that Rashi brings in like the whole, like, why are you corrupting these words to Rabbi Yehuda? Like that, the fact that Rashi says that is quite astounding. Like, why would he do that to give the third explanation? He gave three explanations here. He gave Onkelos, that right?
Who's he?
Rashi. What means who's he?
Because
Who are you?
he usually gets
Who are you? Rashi, we know, but who are you? Who am I? Rashi, we know, but who are
he
we?
usually gets three explanations or two.
He gave three explanations over
Three
here.
or two.
It's okay, you're more well known than I am.
Not but well
Not
known.
necessarily.
I mention your name, everybody knows you.
Okay, no, stop it. You
Usually.
mentioned it to your wife, obviously. Okay,
I used to be known in Montreal.
Still not.
so anyway, very interesting Rashi that needs a
Rashi
more.
gets three explanations or two usually.
No, stop it. Let's learn what we're learning. It's not about what he does, what he generally does. We're learning this Rashi. Doesn't matter any other Rashi, right? He's giving three over here. So, and the last one, he's giving it in such a strong way. And the last one is the least understood according to the simple meaning. Yet he gives it he brings down what Rabbi Yossi says in such strong terms. Why would he do that? How does it make sense? Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Oops, I think I went too far, maybe.
Probably that's what it is.
Okay. 44. Okay. Vayomer Pare, and Pare said, again, another Vayomer. Interesting, because the whole thing has been a conversation about Pare, right? I guess I interrupted because he, gave him the chariot and so on. Okay. V'yemer Para said El Yosef to Yosef, Ani Para, I'm Para, Meladecha lo yarim ishis yadayim, Meladecha, without you, lo yarim, a man, no, will not raise up a man, his yaday, his hand, his ragla, and his foot, b'chol eretz Mitzrayim, the whole land of Egypt. Well, it's amazing. Imagine, just that morning he was in prison, right? Wow. This is Biden's pardoning. Except Biden is whatever. Let's not go there. Para at least has some brains. He pardoned Yosef because he realized that Yosef has something positive to give to his country, right? Anyway, let's not go there.
Okay, we already did.
Yeah, I already did. Ani parai, I am parai. By stating that seemingly the obvious point Para meant to say, that I have the wherewithal, al malchusi, to make a decree over my kingdom, and I decree. What do I decree? That a person can't lift up his hand without you, without your permission. That's the first explanation he gives, right? Okay. What's Rashi bother over here? I'm Paro. Thank you. Who have you been till now? Right? Well, why does the verse say that? Rashi's bothered. So he said, I'm Paro. In other words, I have the full capability in my hands, right? And I'm giving that to you. That's what first it. But he now gives an alternative explanation. He's not happy with that explanation. Anipar is sufficiently happy with it, although it's the first one. Anipar implies that I will be the king, but without you. That's similar to the statement that along the lines of where he says that only the throne will outrank you. So why did Para have to say this again explicitly? At the time of the giving of the ring, he said it, and now he is saying it again. So now we can understand why Rashi. I don't understand why Rashi had to bring this as an alternative explanation, because seemingly it's got a lot of problems to it.
I think he wanted to make sure that people,
Well,
everybody.
wait, one
understood
second. Wait, one second.
that
One second.
when he
No,
gave him the ring,
one second.
He was
One
talking
second,
about him.
Shimon Leib, stop it. Because you're giving your explanation. We're learning Rashi, so you have to.
Rashi's not giving it. He's just making a comment.
No, Shimon Leib, we're not learning Rashal. We're learning
You
Rashi.
should just say. that
No,
you know
one
that
second.
the reason-
No, I know, but it has to be within Rashi. We have to explain it, not another explanation, your explanation. When we're learning Chumash Rashi, we have to understand. You have to get out of your brain and understand Rashi. That's what we got to do. Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm blocking the driveway if that's a problem, please let me know.
No, because they already shoveled it.
Why, no place to park this?
It was impossible to find a place.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. You understand what you're doing? You're not learning Rashi, you're learning your own thoughts on the verse.
Trying to understand Rashi, but maybe.
No, I know, but understand him within him, not within giving now a different explanation.
Identify.
He's not giving any information, he's just.
He is. What do you mean? He gave an alternative explanation, right? Of what it means, I am Pharaoh. Like, thank you. It's like Shimon Leib after 25 years has said, oh, I'm Shimon Leib. What? We didn't know that. We know that.
You could
So
easily- wait a second, you're in charge here, and you could easily say to somebody, I'm Rabbi Fine, I'm in charge here.
wait
This is my place.
a
I
second.
make the rules.
I know,
And
but
this is
first
what-
first
this
of
is
all,
what-
I already said that. But
He's in charge. I'm Pharaoh, I'm in charge, I make the rules.
well, one second. That's the second explanation Rashi's giving.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
No, but so then the problem is because he already said that.
He already said that.
He already said that the throne will be greater than you. I have the throne.
Right.
That's
So the
greater
question
than
is,
you.
why is he saying?
So
the
that's
second
why
one?
Rashi says it is a second explanation, because it's repetitive. Why would he repeat that? Right? But he doesn't like the first explanation sufficiently, right? Is because I'm not certain. I don't know why. It seems to me that the first one, it seems to me the first one should be sufficient. But I don't know. We'll have to see maybe the Rebbe has an explanation.
We have no Rashi explanation.
No, we have Rashi's
We need
explanation.
another- we need-
No, it just means that we don't understand. Rashi is here. Just means
Yes,
that we are not
we-
getting
I
we don't
guess
have
we to
clarity.
read a Rashi book.
We don't have clarity. Okay, let's continue. Ela she'utzach leparsha. The Pharaoh had to state it explicitly again. Why? Bishas and Nizis Abbas. So Rashi's saying why they had to repeat it because the first time he said it was by giving the ring. I'm giving you the signet ring. Know though that the throne is greater than you, which is me, right?
Right.
Now he's saying it again. Why? We don't know. Okay, next. This yad of his ragla, his hand in his foot. Uncle is his explanation. No man will raise his hand or his foot. No raise his hand to hold a weapon, or a foot to ride a horse. That's how Uncle is translates it. Without his, without his permission, exactly. But good. What does it mean? His hand in his foot. What is it? I can't walk now. Raising my foot means I can't walk unless I ask permission from Yosef. So Rashi says obviously can't mean that, right? What does it mean raising a foot? Raising a foot means you can't mount that you can't do. You can't mount a horse. Why? Because what are horses used for? Used to go into battle, right?
Okay.
Right. Mounting a horse. If you're mounting a camel or whatever, that's not for battle. Horses were for battle. They didn't use it for anything. And the same thing, also a hand. I can't raise my hand. I have a question. I can't raise my hand. So what does it mean?
Arms.
Arms. That's what Rashi has to explain. Got it?
Yep.
Good. Look at that. We're getting somewhere. Shimon Leib, you got it? That's the real question. Shimon Leib, you got it?
What, that he's,
Well, we just explained how Rashi had to explain what he explained. That's all. Okay, next. 45. Yikra Parai, and he called Parai Shem Yosef, the name of Yosef, Tzafnas Paneah, who deciphers the cryptic. Ooh, and he gave to him Asnas, the daughter of Potiphera, right? Which we'll see in a moment is Potiphar. In other words, remember that woman who enticed him because she saw that Yosef will be connected to her family. She thought it was in relations with her. And in the end, it's with her daughter. He marries his daughter, her daughter. Kayin Oin, the priest of Oin, the Isha for a wife, Yosef al Eretz Mitzrayim, and Yosef went out over the land of Egypt. Rashi Tzafnas Paneah 45, which means Mefarash Tzafunais, he deciphers the cryptic, that which is hidden. Chol Paneach Dimyan B'Mikra Ein Dimyan, and there is nothing similar to this in the entire Torah. This term.
Hotiach was Pharaoh's right-hand man, right?
Huh?
Hotiach was Pharaoh's right-hand man, right?
Well, not now. Now Yosef is.
Yeah, but like when Yosef first showed up on the scene, he was Pharaoh's
But he was still holding the ring.
Pharaoh still had the ring.
or he just was
I mean, I don't know if he was his right hand man, literally, but he was definitely high up
like
there.
an important person.
Yeah. That's for sure. But we don't have an indication he was his right hand man because then he would have the signet. Then seemingly he should have the signet ring, right?
Exactly.
Potiphar. So Potiphar is Potiphar, the same Potiphar. Benika Potiphar, why is he called Potiphar over here? Ashen is staris me'ela, because he became impotent by himself. Lefish Chamad is Yosef, because he had desires for Yosef, Lamishkav Zachar, for homosexual relations. Well, is that crazy or what? How does Rashi get that from
They said it
these
earlier.
words?
They said it earlier, like a few days ago, that he had a.
Wait, 1 second. Wait, yeah, I know, but how Rashi's saying this over here. How does he get these from these words? How does he get from the words Paiti Thera?
Four of them, yeah.
That Potiphar means that indicates he was castrated? Is that your question?
Yeah. I'm not clear on. Para means to mutilate, but
Whoa,
Pharaoh means that?
that's right, in other words.
anyway, I don't get it clearly, but
Here we
okay,
go.
let's go.
30.
46.
30
Yeah,
years old.
yeah, exactly. The Yosef, I told you that we would get it here, right?
And you told him that.
Well, I said it publicly. You're part of the public. Yosef ben Shloshim Shana, and Yosef was 30 years old. The Amda Lifnei Paro, when he stood before Pharaoh, right? He came down at 17, so he was like
13 years.
12 years. It was 12 years because he worked, remember, for Potiphera, right? Melech Mitzrayim, the king of Egypt, Yosef milifnei Parai, and he went out Yosef from before Pharaoh, V'yavar al b'chol Eretz Mitzrayim, and he went throughout the land of Egypt. Interesting, because the previous verse also, but Yosef al Eretz Mitzrayim, they went oversee the land of Egypt, and now it's kind of repeating it. Right, Rashi. Okay, v'tas haaretz b'sheva shnei seiva lekemotzim. So, and he made for over the land for the 7 years of plenty of satiated the kemotzim, that gathering grain, unending handfuls. It says over here. Okay, let's see Rashi. Okay, 47. The Tas haaretz. And the land, he made the land, meaning it should be understood Targumai, Unkelis, the way he explains it in Lashon Neka and Lashon Asiya. The word betas is not disconnected from the basic meaning of doing. Doing the land, right? That's what he's doing the land. In other words, that the inhabitants of the land gathered. The gathered produce, kamotzim by handfuls, kaimets of al kaimets, handful over handful, yad little by little, hand by hand, little by little, hayu oitzim, they would store away, right? So they were storing away little by little during the 7 years of plenty.
Joseph was, okay, never mind.
48, the yikbites. As called Eichel, and he gathered all of the food, Shebashanim, the 7 years, Asher Hayu Be'eretz Mitzrayim, that were in the land of Egypt. V'yiten Eichel Ba'arim, Eichel Stei Ha'ir, Asher V'zeh Asim B'Seicha. So, and he placed the food in the cities. He placed with food,
Soil.
yeah, in the fields surrounding the city. Rashi Eichel in 48. Eichel stay ha'ir because the food of the field that was around each city he placed within him. It's called Eretz, each and every land. Preserves its fruits, and therefore they were put into produce. Some of the soil of the place in which it grew, and it preserves the produce from rotting. So, in other words, like in this area, let's say they grew vegetables, right? So they took from the ground there when they put it into the warehouse to kind of keep it from spoiling, right? Because remember, they're keeping it for a long time. So I guess vegetables they didn't do it with. It sounds more like grain. I don't know. Besides grain, what else you could store for such a long time, that would last?
Dehydrated.
So in the verse here where it says Yosef collected all the surplus food, was that like meaning all the surplus food was the surplus after like the people of the land had taken their food, had taken their handfuls?
No, the handfuls is what he took as was the surplus, and it was little by little,
Oh,
right?
so he was the one who was doing.
Well, not. I mean, he was the one on charge of it. He didn't do it physically. He didn't do it physically.
Oh, I see. He was overseeing all the
He was
people.
overseeing
Okay,
it.
okay. It wasn't like he was taking some for himself and then everyone else was taking some for themselves. He was overseeing them
He
all.
was overseeing. How's it possible of all the people like that? It wouldn't be possible, right?
Yeah,
That you can just do it physically yourself.
yeah.
But it's interesting. You take some of the earth and from the place of where it grows, not from another place, because I guess that topsoil is connects to what you're growing, and therefore it acts as a preservative.
We do that today, actually, when we replant flowers or anything. We take the soil from that the plant has grown in and add it to our own soil where we're putting the flower or whatever.
Exactly what happened here. Exactly.
You know,
I guess we learned. We must have learned Chumash.
as
The
we
Yitzhak
do-
Bar
I
Yosef.
guess we do that in our own lives and we move. We take our own furniture with us.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And add it to our
It's true,
place.
The Yitzhak Bar Yosef, and he gathered Yosef. Bar means grain. Kichol hayam, like the sands of the sea. In other words, is the lot. Harbe ma'od. Harbe means a lot. Ma'od means very. Right. Ad ki chadal lispar ki ein mispar. And to such an extent that he stopped counting because it was too much to count. Rashi 49. Ad chadal lispar, until it ceased to count. Ad ki chadalaya sefer lispar, until the counter ceasing to count. Right. In other words, it was someone who was an accountant who was recording everything. It was just too much to record already. Mikra Kotzer, this is an abbreviated verse.
Handful by handful.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
I mean, when you have thousands and thousands of people doing it, so handful by handful adds up.
Yeah.
And right, ki ein misbar, the fish ein misbar, because there's no number. The word ki over here is a function of because. Okay. 50. Well, the Yosef, Yulad Shnei Banim, and to Yosef was born two sons, B'terem Tava Ishnas Harav, before came the years of famine, Sheyaldalai, that was born to him, Asnas Bas Potifera, the daughter of Potifera, Kayin Oin, the Kayin, he says here a lord of Oin. Yeah, it's a meaning person of rank. B'terem Tava Ishnas Harav, Rashi in 50, before the famine years set in. Mikan, from here we see also the person is forbidden to have marital relations in the times of famine. Who else didn't have was also forbidden to have relations?
Him and
No, who else in Torah do we learn that was forbidden their relations? Noah, when he went into the ark.
oh yeah,
Right,
everyone
that was a
dying.
little more than a famine. Destruction of the entire world. He
Right.
wasn't allowed to have relations because the
Right.
world is being destroyed. Not a time for you to have relations.
Were Manasseh and Ephraim, they were born here, were they brothers?
Yeah.
Well, it says here born in the same year, I guess.
No. But let's see Rashi let's see the verse.
They were born
what-
before the
what-
first year of the famine.
Well, so there's 7 years they could have been
Oh, yeah.
born.
Could be over 7 years.
Over 7 years, right?
Yeah, right.
51, Vikra Yosef, and Yosef called the Shem Bachor, the name of the firstborn Menashe. He called him, why? Kineshani Elokim, because God has made me forget, as called Amali, all of my hardships, as called as Beisavi, and my father's home.
Wow.
52, Veshem Asheni, and the name of the second one, Kara, he called Ephraim. Why? Kifrani Elokim Beretzani, because God made me fruitful in the land of my suffering.
Cool.
Wow.
Total.
Let's just take a quick look.
He even calls it. It's funny he calls it in the land of my suffering, even though he's doing it so well.
Yeah, but he suffered because he was working basically as a slave for Potiphar. And then he was in jail for
Yeah, true.
12 or 13 years.
And he was away from his
So
father,
he was really, he had no freedom. Supposedly,
and he was away from his father's household.
right?
So he's not denying the fact that he's fruitful, right? He's saying fruitful, right? Ephraim means Ephrani, right? From the word there's the word pre in there, right? Which is fruit,
Yeah.
right? So he's recognizing, but yet it came out of suffering,
Mhm.
right? Came out of hardship, came out of difficulties.
Like kidnapping, I mean, it's selling the whole business, yeah. That's a long process. Thank you. It was for 7 minutes.
I gotta go.
Well, we got Tanya now.
I know, but I have to, something to do. I gotta take my
Tanya,
wife somewhere.
give me this phone.
Well, yeah, but now Tanya is not starting before 9:30, but I gotta be somewhere and I have to be home also. I promised my wife I'd be home by 10 o'clock.
For Zoom?
Oh, well, yeah, you'll be home before 10.
I have to go somewhere first.
I thought you are somewhere first.
Can you Zoom for your wife?
Yeah,
Zoom? For 10 o'clock?
Zoom?
You said Zoom, you have to set up Zoom for your.
Okay.
No, no.
All right, folks,
Okay, so you have to-
amazing stuff.
Well, I'll take a bus.
I have to be somewhere.
Oops.
I have to go somewhere first.
We're not doing a shlichut. Whatever it's called.
No, we're gonna get to Tanya.